except of course for Ricky Ricotta, but I'll put those in next year. And I'm not including any of Dave Pilkey's picture books, but if you want, I will put these in next year's video as well, and we'll just have next year's video be like an hour long. Caleb Does Stuff asked, when are you gonna do another Captain Underpants and Dogman book ranking? Just asking. Soon, my child. Soon. Captain Underpants, Captain Underpants, Dogman book ranking, Captain Underpants, Captain Underpants, Captain Underpants, Dogman book ranking, Dave Pilkey, Captain Underpants, Captain Underpants. The fans are waiting. You haven't uploaded in forever. Captain Underpants, Captain Underpants.
It is time for the prophecy to be fulfilled. Y'all ever just wake up holding an iPad?
Hello there. Hello, good to finally be back. You read the title correctly. 2022, I ranked every Captain Underpants book. In 2023, I ranked every Captain Underpants book and all the Dogman books at the time. But this year, I'm doing the absolutely absurd. Every Dave Pilkey book ranked. Alright, now when I say every, I don't mean like every. I'm only counting the books that he's written, not just illustrated. So, yes, unfortunately I won't be including Don't Pop Your Cork on Mondays. Sorry to all 7 people who know what that is. And as per usual, I'm not going to be including the Book of Funds or whatever the Netflix books were. Ew! Also, the ranking this year is going to be different. In my last 2 videos, I did it from least favorite to favorite. This year I'm going to be going through each book in release order and giving a little review of them. Also, when I say release order, it might be wrong because I'm going with what Google says, so if it's wrong, blame Google, not me. Also, I'm going to be doing this in a tier sort of fashion. So anyway, we got S tier, which is the best of the best. A tier, which is great. B tier, which is good. C tier, which is eh. D tier, which is least awesome, because none of these books are bad. Alright, with all that said, let's get into the video. The Genesis of Dave Pilkey. He was just 19 years old. I actually enjoyed this book. First half, it's kind of just like a regular kid's book. It's about these 2 kings. One of them has the idea that instead of both of them ruling, only one of them should rule. And then they're holding guns and grenades and they're talking about killing each other. No wonder this wasn't at my local Barnes & Noble when I was 9. I will say I do really like the art style for this book. It reminds me a lot of Slylock Fox and Comics for Kids, if any of you even know what that is. The cover is cool. I have no complaints with it. Next we got Dragon's Halloween. I was willing to bet that this was the last in the series, but according to Google it's the first, so the reason I thought this was the last one was because this one really doesn't fit in with the rest in the series. I don't mean that in a bad way, like it's a fine book. It's just something about this one feels a little bit off. Still an enjoyable read though. B tier. 'Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving. This is a cute story with cute characters and great artwork. Alright, so Dragon's Halloween was whatever, but after that they do get better. The only thing I remember from this book was he ate a lot of food and couldn't fit back in the car. So yeah, B tier. Dragon's Merry Christmas. This one's great, I enjoyed it a lot. I'll probably read it again around Christmas time. This one, Dragon mistakes an apple for a sentient being because a snake talks to him. This is the most balls to the walls insane Adam and Eve adaptation I've ever seen in my life. Dragon's Fat Cat. This is the best dragon book. Dragon gets a fat cat, he loses it. Turns out the cat was pregnant and it has babies. The art in this book is freaking amazing. Dave Pilkey, I know you haven't made a picture book in decades, but please, bring this art style back. It is amazing. Cat Kong. It's a King Kong parody with a cat. The humor in this is very like prototype Ricky Ricotta, like it's cats, mice, cheese, you know. But now we gotta talk about the sequel. This one's cute, but I feel like this humor works better with the cat than the dog. So B tier for this as well. Only criticism I've ever seen towards this book is it's a Walter the Farting Dog ripoff. But this came out 7 years before Walter the Farting Dog was even a thing. So yeah, how does it feel to be wrong? A tier. The Dumb Bunnies. You can just look at the cover for this and tell that it's a masterpiece. It's parodying Goodnight Moon. This whole book series is just a parody of, well, children's books. This is the power of Dave Pilkey. This book is made for people half my age, but every time I read one of these, there's a joke I didn't catch the first time, and it just makes me laugh. At A tier, this book is great. dumb bunnies take every holiday and mix it together. It's very hilarious. Next we got the Halloweener. This is my favorite Dave Pilkey picture book. Is that purely for nostalgic reasons? Probably. This is the best Dumb Bunnies book by far because it's just the dumbest. Everything I liked about the first two is turned up to 11 in this. God Bless the Gargoyles. The second book with this painting art style. I feel like this might actually be the most timeless book Dave Pilkey has ever written. Dumb Bunnies Go to the Zoo. It's fine, it's just not as funny as the rest. The third book with the painting art style. If you had never heard of this until this video, you're not alone. It's similar to One Cat's Dream. It's about like what animals do once people go to sleep. They dance in front of the moon. There's an E.T. reference and the art is really pretty. That's all I remember from this. The Paperboy. The fourth and unfortunately final book with this art style. Rest in peace, you will be missed. This one's great. It has a really cozy vibe about it. Only thing I don't like about it is it feels like it's ending right as the story is starting. A tier nonetheless, and it deserves its little award sticker thing that it has on the cover. It's the Dumb Bunnies, but not as funny. I mean, hey, it brought the World War I art style back, so it's not that bad. Now what you've all been waiting for. You would literally have to be stupid to put this in any tier other than S. It is a childhood classic. Even if you don't like this series, you've read this book somehow. Alright, so we got our first S tier. Now on to our first D tier. I want to specify that these books aren't bad. It's all 5 Big Dog and Little Dog books. Dumb Bunnies was like a parody of children's books. This feels like something that the Dumb Bunnies would have made fun of. It's like if you had to choose between these books and all the other books so far, these are the last things you're going to pick. Also, I know I'm not the target demographic for these. These are made for much younger audiences. To be honest, I almost didn't include them in this video because it just doesn't seem fair. Anyway, back to Captain Underpants. Captain Underpants and the Attack of the Talking Toilets. I feel like we all like this one better than the first one. S tier. Captain Underpants and the invasion of the incredibly naughty cafeteria ladies from outer space, and the subsequent assault of the equally evil lunchroom zombie nerds. This is gonna be a hot take, but I actually think this is better than the first two. It's just this one you've got aliens, a giant mutant dandelion, Captain Underpants gets superpowers. S tier. Ricky Ricotta's Mighty Robot. Now before I go any further with these, I want to specify, there's 2 art styles. Like, one is so similar to Dave Pilkey, it's like, why didn't he just illustrate this? The other one has a more like 3D look to it, and I'm going to be using that one for this video because it's what my library had. This is a classic book that a lot of people grew up with. It's not my favorite out of the series though. Ricky Ricotta 2, that's what I'm talking about. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know this is my favorite Captain Underpants, favorite Dave Pilkey, just overall. I mean, sorry if that takes the mystery out of the rest of this list, but like, you gotta do what you gotta do. S tier. I feel like out of all the Ricky Ricotta, I've read this one the most. This is another classic. Look at this cover. Freaking amazing. Actually, this book is aged pretty well. Years later, still funny. This is by far the grossest in the series, but it's still great. I've always liked this one better than the first Booger Boy, so yeah, S tier. I feel like whenever people think of this series, this is the first one to come to mind. The jackrabbits in this are iconic. Here, I don't know what else you want me to say. Captain Underpants and the Preposterous Plight of the Purple Potty People. In my opinion, this is the most underrated book in the series. Somebody just went through the door. This is one that I've always ranked really high in my previous videos, and I'm still gonna do that. Yeah, it's better than Super Diaper Baby. Speaking of which, Super Diaper Baby 2, Invasion of the Potty Snatchers. This is another case where the sequel is better than the first one. Did you know there was 6 years in between book 8 and this one? I mean, hey, it's more consistent than my upload schedule. Oh, brother, this guy stinks! Between book 8, 9, and 10, it was so hard to pick which one of those three I liked the best. Also, in this one, Tippy Tinkle Trousers freaking dies. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't remember much from this book. Now on to my least favorite Captain Underpants book. Not book 12.
What? This is a moment in history! Take a picture!
Captain Underpants and the Tyrannical Retaliation of the Turbo Toilet 2000. Alright, when I say least favorite, I still like it. It's still great, but there's a lot of stuff in it that I just don't really like as much as the other books. Especially this part. Ricky Ricotta Book 7. The Uranium Unicorns from
Your anus!
Funny title, and I don't remember anything else. I feel really bad for the Ricky Ricotta fanbase. I've been way too harsh on this book in the past. It's a good book. It didn't deserve the hate. I was just upset because the book series is over. Ricky Ricotta 8 and 9, B tier. Cool covers though. I always forget that this isn't like an actual story. It's just a collection of George and Harold comics.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This was really popular when it first came out, but now no one talks about it. All these years later, it's still my favorite Dogman book. This is the book that changed history forever, giving us Little Petey. Dogman and Cat Kid. I've always been torn between whether I liked A Tale of Two Kitties or this better. Dogman, Lord of the Fleas, introduces Piggy. He's funny. I have nothing else to say. Dogman, Brawl of the Wild. Yeah, they used Philly 3 different times, but this is my favorite one. Claymation Philly is the best version of Philly. End of discussion. Dogman, For Whom the Ball Rolls. Dr. Scum is back. Love that guy. Dogman, Fetch 22. So in this you get the Fair Fairy, who is very mean, and I love that. She reminds me of Captain Underpants villains. And then there's also a tree that is like a parody of Frosty the Snowman. Dogman, Grime and Punishment. By far my favorite Dogman cover. Cat Kid Comic Club. Best thing I can say about this series is it inspired kids to make comics. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but it doesn't matter because it's encouraging creativity. I swear I don't hate this franchise. Dogman Mothering Heights. I have very conflicted feelings on this. First of all, Dogman is sidelined so hard in this. But then all this stuff with Petey and Little Petey is done really well and I like it. Cat Kid Comic Club on purpose. You guys ever played Space Rockets? Cat Kid Comic Club collaborations. I'm sorry. Definitely my least favorite Dogman book. It just feels like nothing really happens in this. Cat Kid Comic Club influencers. I feel bad at this point. Dogman Scarlet Shedder. I think this was a return to form. Dogman's the main focus again. Dr. Scum is back. The villain has a cool design, and it's anti-AI? What more could you want? I mean, this is freaking legendary. I have returned. Again. Yeah, it's like 4 days later. Sorry, I was really tired. Anyway, now that I've covered all the books, I'm going to be going through the entire ranking from my least favorite to my favorite, which you all know at this point. Without further ado, rapid fire ranking. The reason it's rapid fire is because it's about to storm. From least favorite to favorite. Big Dog and Little Dog. Big Dog and Little Dog getting in trouble. Big Dog and Little Dog going for a walk. Big Dog and Little Dog wearing sweaters. Big Dog and Little Dog making a mistake. The Moonglow Roll-O-Rama. The Silly Gooses. Cat Kid Comic Club. Cat Kid Comic Club Perspectives. Cat Kid Comic Club On Purpose. Cat Kid Comic Club Collaborations. Cat Kid Comic Club Influencers. Dogman, 20,000 Fleas Under the Sea, Dogzilla, Cat Kong, Dragon's Halloween, The Dumb Bunnies Go to the Zoo, World War I, Ricky Ricotta 9, Ricky Ricotta 8, Ricky Ricotta 7, Dragon Gets By, One Cat's Dream, The Paperboy, Ricky Ricotta 6, Dragon's Merry Christmas, A Friend for Dragon, Dumb Bunnies Easter, Ricky Ricotta's Mighty Robot, Dogman Mothering Heights, Ricky Ricotta 2, Dogman Grime and Punishment, Dogman Fetch 22, The Dumb Bunnies, Ricky Ricotta 5, Dogman Scarlet Shedder, Make Way for the Dumb Bunnies, Dog Breath, Dragon's Fat Cat, Super Diaper Baby, Dogman For Whom the Ball Rolls, Ricky Ricotta 4, Ricky Ricotta 3, Dogman, Super Diaper Baby 2, Invasion of the Potty Snatchers, Dogman Lord of the Fleas, Dogman Brawl of the Wild, God Bless the Gargoyles, 'Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving, The Halloweener, Dogman and Cat Kid, Dogman and Tale of Two Kitties, Ook and Gluck, Captain Underpants 11, Dogman Unleashed, Captain Underpants 12, Captain Underpants 6, Captain Underpants 1, Captain Underpants 7, Captain Underpants 2, Captain Underpants 5, Captain Underpants 9, Captain Underpants 8, Captain Underpants 10, Captain Underpants 3, and Captain Underpants 4. Okay, cool, let me catch my breath. That took a lot out of me. Seriously, this is like the 4th or 5th time I've filmed this video. And now on to the question on everybody's mind, other than can I stop watching this and go to bed? Am I gonna make another one of these? Probably not. I've covered every one of his books now. I really don't see myself remaking this video for like 1, maybe 2 books. With that said, there are some other Dave Pilkey things I've wanted to cover on this channel, and I've wanted to talk about other book series on this channel for years, and hopefully I'll finally get to those. Also, there's a new Dogman movie coming out, so you know I gotta talk about that. So now you have a great trilogy of raking. Very beautiful. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
And subscribe right now.
Oh! Harnessing the power of the sun with this terrible lighting over here. Burger King.